Hi girls and boys, I'm back from my Thursday science experiment to share with you today, and our drone adventure is what we're going to discuss today. But I have a super big shout out to Jocelyn for answering the questions on my Harry Potter reading yesterday. So I have here a pop for you, and for my continued winners I have an upgrade of ring pops here, and for my super winners who answer stuff, I have the bracelets here that you can wear that are light up. So they are up and coming, and thanks again. So our drone adventure: how can drones be used to help people in commercial industries? Write your thoughts down, and here's a little list, and I have it more zoomed up on the next slide, of some things that you can use drones for out in business. If there's a forest fire, you can send a drone out and see how bad the damage is, or if there's bugs eating and killing crops. You can use them on the rooftops in the city to see if roofs are caving in or architectural damage. So there's lots of different ways you can use drones. So take a minute and think of some ideas. Okay, so here is the list zoomed up closely. So we have maybe a community setting as a cornfield, and we're looking for bugs that might kill crops. We're on the ocean, and maybe we're looking to see what fish are jumping to catch, or how bad storms, or if there's a tsunami coming. There's other challenges. Suppose there's something like a missing dog. Your favorite pet is lost, and you can send a drone through the neighborhood to look for your dog. So take a minute and look at the different challenges, both the agricultural challenges and the business challenges, and see what type of drone action you can use to maybe save the situation or help the situation. Okay, so here's a worksheet that we can fill out, or you can add your answers to. So your community setting, that's where you want to pick from as far as the agricultural. Is it going to be a cornfield? Is it going to be somewhere in this on a rooftop? So figure out your community setting is facing what type of challenge. Are there crop issues, fires, roof cave-ins? So that's your challenge. And you and your engineering team, well, you yourself and I at home, are thinking about how to decide more about what to do. So your friend says, and I'm your friend, says, I think a drone can help with this. And you're saying to yourself, okay, so what can the drone do? So write these actions down, what your team's going to do, and what action that you took place. And then there's a reflection spot. What do you think about the scenario? Does it seem possible, and what changes could you make it to be more realistic? So sometimes they send drones on the mountainsides to see like where a person might be stuck, to save them. So there's all different types of scenarios you can think of, and what would make it the most realistic, and what teams would you need to employ to help it if there was a realistic situation to make it better. And lastly, how do you think a drone would help in your situation? Do you think it would help the situation or make the situation worse? Or what do you think there would be the negative parts of having a drone? Okay, so take a minute and think about these challenges on a separate piece of paper and write them down, and you can send these to Miss Ellie too. Okay, so part 2 of our lesson today is going to make our own flyer. Now, I know it's hard because sometimes we have limited supplies at home, so I tried to make this flyer several different ways. And I'm going to send a JPEG photo picture along with this PowerPoint, so you can print, if you have a printer at home, the picture out through your phone, hopefully onto your printer, and then you have a pattern. If not, the pattern's right here, and I have a closer one too, and you could probably sketch this out freehand and do this on a plate or a piece of paper. Okay, so one of the most important things about doing this is having the pattern. So once you get the pattern and you cut it out, it looks something like this. Okay, so the pattern looks something like this. Here's the tail, and here's the actual flyer here. So once you have it cut in paper, then you can trace it onto different material. So I tried a piece of green heavyweight material, like cardstock. I'm trying a foam paper plate right here. And then I also did one, and here's a finished one, on a regular paper plate. And here's the tail, it kind of flattened out. And it has a penny on the front, and that kind of gives it weight to fly. Okay, so as I'm cutting out my piece of paper right here, there's a lot of extra paper here. So when it's time to get into the tight spots, I suggest cutting a lot of the excess paper away and getting it trimmed down to the part that is most important. I don't think you can see this, but you can sort of see my lines there. And so I've trimmed a lot of the stuff away, and I've just got the tail and the plane left. So once I cut all this out, okay, so I cut 3 different planes out. One from like a cardstock, one from a regular paper plate, and one from a foam plate. Now the foam plate did very well, and it works well with a penny taped to the front. But on the cardstock one, the penny was just too heavy and did not fly well. So instead, I put 3 paper clips on the front, and it flies very well now. And the paper plate, it flew okay. And that one I had a penny on, but it seemed to go down awfully fast and nosedive. So I would suggest for this one probably trying paper clips or other items that you might have around the house. The most important thing is to have some fun with this and look for things that you have around the house that you can use to substitute for the stuff that's on the supply list that we just don't have right now. And that's why I think that the cardstock and other things are a good choice to use in this time. So let me know how you're doing with your planes. If it's possible to have maybe mom or dad take a little movie of you flying the plane and send back to Miss Ellie and see how you're doing, that would be really good. If you had a minute to look at the links that I sent 2 days ago about flying, one of the pages is nothing but a page of how to make paper airplanes. It has all different types of fancy paper and all different ways of folding the planes. And that's from a Smithsonian Institute website, and it's called How Things Fly. So check out those resources, and tomorrow I'm going to send you directions to make another little type of plane. This time you just need an index card, a drinking straw, and some tape. All right, well, have a great afternoon, boys and girls, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Take care. Bye.